with the Bay Desert Race Club. It's been another busy week and a lot of activity going on, very much affected, as is all of Queensland at the moment, by the weather, but nonetheless the activity progresses, and we'll run through our usual format for the program in the hopeful expectation that the weather will improve and that the circumstances will allow racing to proceed a little bit better than it has been lately. Had the opportunity of talking to our bookmaker friend Wayne Gannon this morning. Wayne, of course, also a committee man on the Bay Desert Race Club, and he's come through with a bracket of selections for this afternoon that he thought might perform reasonably well. I should mention Wayne's 4 selections last week. He only got a run with one of them because of the weather conditions and the wipeout of the Gold Coast meeting at the latter stages of the day. But one runner that Wayne, one runner that went round for Wayne, Julie won at about 7-1. So that was a good day based on the circumstances that were prevailing. And today, Wayne spread himself around a little bit. He started off in Sydney today on a quagmire track in Sydney, race 2, number 12, Profits Come. He thought might perform reasonably well there, race 2, number 12. He then went to Sydney, race 8, number 8, Viridine, race 8, number 8 in Sydney. He then came back to Brisbane for race 5, number 8, Tazzoni, race 5, number 8 at Eagle Farm today, Tazzoni, and in Brisbane, race 9, the last race of the day, number 16, Langro, race 9, number 16, and with a name like Langro, you can surely guess that that's by the champion sire Longro, very similarly named. Had the opportunity of speaking with our local trainer Shane Galinsky last night. Shane had a good day last week too. He had a winner in one placing out of his selections last week. And today, Shane has come up with, in Brisbane, only one selection in Brisbane, race 9, number 2, 12 Feet Boy, race 9, number 2 at Eagle Farm. He then went to Sydney for 2 selections, in race 3, number 2, Jamie, race 3, number 2. He then went to Sydney, race 6, number 8, Sikandarabad. That's a long name, Sikandarabad. Race 6, number 8, Sikandarabad. And he finished up in Mornington today in Victoria. Mornington is the Metropolitan Status meeting in Victoria today. There's no racing in Melbourne. And at Mornington for the Mornington Cup meeting, and in the Mornington Cup for race 7, number 2, Ventura Storm was Shane's selections there. It's interesting that there's 3 selections in Sydney, 2 in Sydney and 1 in Mornington of Shane's last night were all trained by the David Hayes stable. So those are the contributions from Wayne and Shane this morning. Been a quieter week in terms of race meetings, but there were three meetings over the border in New South Wales, and of course with it is its geographical location, it's well situated to provide runners for those Northern Rivers meetings, and there were 13 participants from Bay Desert at those Northern Rivers meetings during the week. And we saw some good results come out of some of those meetings during the week too. We run through the results from starting with last weekend. That was the Gold Coast meeting on a quagmire track there on the Gold Coast, and we saw the 3 races had to be abandoned, but there were no Bay Desert winners, but trained at Bay Desert, but our local businessman Michael Crooks had a very big result in the Gold Coast Metropolitan meeting there with the cutest bonus race won by Viagra. That was a tremendous win because the cutest bonus pumped that prize money for that race up to $145,000. So Michael Crooks didn't get a run with his other runners, which are scheduled for the big races at the latter stages of the day, but he certainly achieved a wonderful victory there with Mashani Viagra winning at the Gold Coast for him last Saturday. The rain caused unsafe conditions that day. The track itself was okay, but the inadequate visibility for the jockeys was considered to be very hazardous, and that meeting was cut short. But those major races were carried forward to today. One of them has been staged at Eagle Farm in Brisbane, at the Metropolitan meeting in Eagle Farm in Brisbane, the 3-year-old dual race, scheduled to run at Eagle Farm today. Michael Cooks, of course, has got two runners in that race, Mashani Hustler and Defence Missiles. Great interest for Beaudesert in that race in Brisbane today. And the other major race is retained at the Gold Coast today, and that's the Gold Market race is being held at the Gold Coast today after being washed out last Saturday. At the Gold Coast, for the races that were run last week, we did have a result in race 3, high cost, that speedy short course specialists of Greg Cornish, Australian at Beaudesert, put in a tremendous performance to run third at the Gold Coast last Saturday. Unfortunately, the weather, as I said, in many parts of Queensland is having a tremendous impact on the industry. We see last Saturday going down to Ballina. Ben Robinson took Dashing Ocean to Ballina last Saturday and got into the winner's circle there with a very good victory for Dashing Ocean. And Greg Cornish also went to Ballina for a third prize money check with Rewa Lad. Mawilum meeting on Tuesday saw a very close second there for Send Us a Sign, trained by local trainer Ray Litton. So Beaudesert horses getting into these results quite effectively in the Northern Rivers over the past week. And last night at Toowoomba, the contingent went up there. They got one race on in Toowoomba before the weather turned into absolute chaos because, first of all, in the race that was run, Ben Robinson again achieved the winner's circle with Reset Sun. That was a tremendous win for Ben Robinson. And then the storm broke and the whole meeting was abandoned. There was a tremendous downpour in Toowoomba last night, which caused the abandonment of that meeting, which meant that Ben Robinson had a couple of other runners up there, as did Tracy Green. Very disappointing to make the trip and get to those meetings, and you get the meeting completely wiped out because of the weather conditions. And the same thing happened the previous Friday at the Sunshine Coast, with trainers like Diane Murphy had a couple of runners scheduled to run but didn't get a chance. Again, the weather gets a special mention there. Today at the Gold Coast, on what will hopefully be a better track than prevailed last week, we see in the first race a couple of runners from Beaudesert having its first. Jan Pritchard has Essie having its first start in race 1, number 4, and that's a Cutis bonus race as well. And in the fourth race, Only Ever Annie is representing Ben Aarons, taking Only Ever Annie to the fourth race at the Gold Coast, number 7. There were a couple of other acceptances at the Gold Coast for Ben Aarons, Lucky Fix and Ross Howard. With the doctor, unfortunately, they were only emergencies and there's not enough scratchings to ensure that they will get a start, so we won't see them go around. It's a frustrating business with the balloting that goes on with these emergencies. And in the sixth race today, Diane Murphy accepted with Glen Ord, but she hasn't posted a jockey for Glen Ord, and my belief is that horse will run at the Sunshine Coast tomorrow, where it's a dual acceptor instead of running at the Gold Coast today. The seventh race at the Gold Coast, we see Ben Robinson again with Mighty Moose, race 7, number 13, Mighty Moose. It's interesting to see that almost all those runners from Beaudesert at the Gold Coast today are being ridden by Jason Taylor. And Jason's getting a lot of work and riding engagements from the Beaudesert trainers at the present time. Today at the Metropolitan meeting at Eagle Farm, a big meeting at Eagle Farm today, the Eagle Farm track fortunately seems to be standing up extremely well after a year or so of restoration. And today, that race, the 3-year-old Jewel, race number 4, is the main race of the day. It was going to be the first race. It's been rescheduled to be race 4 today. And the 3-year-old Jewel, of course, has got those two starters for local businessman Michael Cooks that we talked about earlier. And then race 8, the 1500-metre open race, we see Ben Aarons taking Chillin' with Dylan to Brisbane today to compete in the tough Metropolitan Saturday Company in Brisbane. Chillin' with Dylan for Ben Aarons, resuming from a spell in race 8, number 11. number 1. And still in race 2, Diane Murphy has number 2, Monte Santo, going around at Gatton today. In the third race at Gatton, Lucky Fix, number 5, trained by Ben Aarons, heading to Gatton. And in the fourth race, we see Red Calvary, number 3, prepared by Kelvin Hickmont. And also in the fourth race, Argo's Revenge, prepared by Ken Deacon, number 5. So good interest there in the fourth race at Gatton today. In the seventh race at Gatton today, a couple of these were emergencies. Kelvin Hickmont in race 7, number 14, Anakin Direxis representing Kelvin, but that will get a start, I understand, with enough scratchings to give that horse the opportunity to get a run. And Kelvin also has in the same race another emergency, the Ponster, which I understand will also get a run. So that's a very interesting and comprehensive meeting going on at Gatton there today. Other runners continue during the day at Casino in New South Wales. We see the Kyogo Cup meeting, and Jeff Dunn's taking Instantaneous down there for the second race, the top weight Instantaneous. And Greg Cornish, as we mentioned, is also taking Valanabar, which is also in the second race, number 6, Valanabar, at the Gatton meeting, the Casino meeting in the Northern Rivers today. Other country meetings today at Taroom, but nobody going to Taroom today. That meeting, incidentally, has been relocated to Wandoan, so it's keeping the local racing in the area. There's a big meeting at the Taroom race club today, but it's been transferred to Wandoan. One thing I learned there is I was looking at the details, and my helpers pointed out to me that Taroom is one of only 4 anti-clockwise tracks in Queensland. I knew Birdsville was an anti-clockwise track, but Queensland's got 4 tracks that race anti-clockwise, the Melbourne way of going, and that include Taroom, Injern, Birdsville and Baduri. We mentioned the Casino meeting that is also going on today, and that of course is the Kyogo Cup meeting. We've got Jeff Dunn and Greg Cornish down there for that meeting. And in the Kyogo Cup, we see Brown Lines, number 10, trained by Graham Blake, with Olivia Pickering, and a Kiwi apprentice young lady, to ride there. She's a former Kiwi now based in the Northern Rivers. The Sunday meeting continues at the Sunshine Coast. We've got the Diane Murphy Glen Ord racing there, as we said, number 3. Ben Aarons is taking Yarborough for the third race at the Sunshine Coast tomorrow, number 12. And Toga Pictor is also prepared by Diane Murphy, and that's racing as number 2 in race 7. The Gatton meeting on Monday, the Grafton meeting on Monday, sees Krakatoa Eruption going down there for Matthew John Dunn in the second race, number 5 at Grafton. Krakatoa Eruption, race 6, number 12, Lady Eleanor, also Matthew John Dunn. Both of those horses are question marks as to whether they will start. There could be likely scratchings there. Last start, Bow Desert winner, trained by Laurie Richardson, all one class, which was beautifully ridden by Brooke Ainsworth at Bow Desert when it won the last meeting at Bow Desert. It's going to Grafton as race 7, number 7. It'll be ridden by Peter Graham tomorrow because Brooke Ainsworth did get a short-term suspension by the stewards after that ride on Laurie's horse at Bow Desert last week, and that'll be ridden by Peter Graham tomorrow at Grafton. Other meetings coming up, we've got Tuesday at Coffs Harbour, Wednesday at Toowoomba, hopefully they'll get better weather. Ipswich has been having a terrible time with meetings abandoned, and the big lead up to the Toowoomba Carnival with the Weekwood and Cup coming up, and we can expect a number of trainers there to be looking at those meetings from Bow Desert. Matthew John Dunn, Ben Aarons, Charles Weston, Kelvin Hickmont, Ben Robinson and Mark Palmer also have all got nominations running around listed for those meetings this coming Tuesday, 26th of March, and the upcoming important race dates for the diary, which we keep talking about. Sorry, we just had a disconnection there for a time. I hope we're back on air again. And upcoming race meeting dates for Anzac Day, the 25th of April. That'll be a great meeting on Thursday, the 25th of April, and the Bow Desert Cup meeting. There's a very big promotion going on there by the Gold Coast Turf Club in its promotion of the Bow Desert Race Club activities, and that Bow Desert Cup meeting in the middle of the Winter Racing Carnival should be a tremendous meeting for the Bow Desert Race Club. And of course, don't forget the Bow Desert Hibernian Club will be having its charity meeting on Saturday, the 18th of May. So a big meeting, that Hibernian meeting. It's always a tremendous day out, and a very, very charitable group. The Hibernian Club have achieved a great charitable achievements over those last over many years actually, and it's on the 18th of May, that particular meeting. So there's a full calendar available for the Bow Desert Race Club upcoming dates on Bow Desert Race Club website, bowdesertraceclub.com website, and don't forget the Bow Desert Times always publishes a full race day report on the Wednesday after the Bow Desert local meetings. And that's inside the back page of the Bow Desert Times, a comprehensive report on the Bow Desert meetings there. And don't forget also our own Facebook site for this program. There's a wealth of information, the local activities as well as industry matters of importance on that website, on that Facebook site. So with that, I think we've accomplished what we wanted to get across the message this morning. Thanks very much, Robert, and we look forward to talking to you again next Saturday morning at the same time. And in the meantime, we thank the listeners for having us at their place, and look forward to getting some good results out of those items we mentioned for this afternoon.